The teachings of Rabbi Rav Sprecher, Dean of Students at Diaspora Yeshiva on Mount Zion, Jerusalem.
We had the schus to host him for 10 years and 8 months. The holding the Shama came down, and we had the privilege to be his parents. And, as King David said when his son died, he's not coming to me, but eventually I will be going to him. So that's a nechama for us. Hachameh B'Esrim will be reunited, and he won't be sick anymore. He's not sick anymore. And I'd like to thank again Shimon and Bell for being so kind and giving us a Sefer Torah. Leila Nishmat ad your son, Rosh Shmuel Chaim, and Tzion of Ephraim. Chesed Todah Rabba. Now I want to speak about, of course, Pesach. What else? What else can we speak about? Pesach, elevate the neshama of our dear son, Rosh Shmuel Chaim, and Tzion of Ephraim. The Mishnah says, Masechet Pesachim, B'chol dor v'dor, Chayev Adam lirot et atzmo kilu hu yotza miMitzrayim. Yagoda quotes the Mishnah Pesachim. In every generation, a person is obligated to see himself as if he left Egypt. How is it possible? You left Egypt over 3,300 years ago. How is it possible to see ourselves as if we actually left Egypt? That's the question that we have to deal with, right? It's an obligation. The Rambam codifies it in the Mishnah Torah. The answer is Pesach and other Yom Tov are called Moyadim. What does the word Moed actually mean? The word Moed means a rendezvous with God. We cycle through time to rendezvous with God. And therefore, the matzah is round, Ephraim. Why is the matzah round? Because time doesn't travel in a straight line. Time is cyclical. The matzah, the round matzah, is a symbol that we are moving in a circle. When Pesach comes around, we are rendezvousing God. Those forces of Kedusha that were released on the first Pesach, every Pesach, we come around, we're moving in a circle. That's a symbol of the round matzah. So Moyade means days of close encounter, rendezvous with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Cycling through time. And therefore, Yom Tov is called Moed. Moed means a rendezvous with God. Now, on Chanukah and Purim, Avi, we say, Vayodem Mahem Bazman Hazeh. The miracles of Chanukah and Purim, Vayodem Mahem, happened in those days, but Gam Bazman Hazeh. It's the same idea. So we thank God for Chanukah and Purim. We say, Vayodem Mahem Bazman Hazeh, that those forces of Kedusha, those miracles that took place by Yom Mahem, also took place when? Bazman Hazeh. Today. So the question is, Charlie, why don't we make that bracha on Pesach night? What is it more appropriate to make the bracha she'asa nisim la'avoteinu v'yom mahem bazman hazeh? What am I, chopped liver? If you make that bracha on Chanukah and Purim, David, you don't deserve to make it on Pesach night. It's a pele madua v'lama lo yom mahem bazman hazeh v'chag Pesach. If we're ever cycling through time on Chanukah and Purim, is Kolshkein, we cycle through time when? Pesach. That's why you have a round matzah. So why don't you make the bracha b'yom bazman hazeh on Pesach? You never thought about that, Ephraim? You can't ask the same 4 kashas every year. People get bored. Man ishtana Pesach. You don't say b'yom bazman hazeh like you do when? On Chanukah and Purim. I think that's a Manishtana question, Charlie. What do you think?
I agree.
Give up?
We're living through it, so it's not then it's now.
But Bazman Hazeh. So why don't you make that bracha?
Different. You have to change the wording.
Why? God did miracles by Yom Mahem, and He's still doing Bazman Hazeh. The modern day Pharaoh, the abomination in the White House, the modern day Pharaoh. So the answer is, That's the word moed. See, Chanukah and Purim are not called moed because they're only the Rabbanan. They're not in the Torah. So the rabbis have to give me the idea that Chanukah and Purim, the miracles continue as manazeh. But Valerie, by Pesach, you don't need that bracha because the word moed means by definition what? Gam b'zman hazeh. I'll prove it to you. So the bracha becomes Eicham Yivrit Reb David superfluous. Mutar. Nishneit. You don't need it. That's what the word moed means. Chanukah and Purim need that bracha because it's not in the Torah. But the word moed means gam b'zman hazeh. And I'll prove it to you. There's a pasuk in Koheles Gimel. Ma shehaya kvar hu. What is now already happened a long, long time ago. Koheles is telling me that time is cyclical. That's what the word moed means. So therefore, in every generation, a person has to make believe that he left Egypt because, in a certain metaphysical sense, he did leave. We are going through that. Yetzias Mitzrayim every time Pesach comes around. By eating the foods that they ate, show and tell, we are actually reliving the Exodus experience. That's the definition of the word moed. Cycling through time. And that's why the matzah is round. Time moves in a cyclical fashion. Rendezvous with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, Yirmiyahu tells us, Kayom Ar Hashem, V'charti lo chesed nurayich, ahavas kolosoyich, lechtech achvai b'midbar. God tells Yirmiyahu, chapter 2, I remember the chesed that you did for me when you were what? My young bride. Lechtech achvai b'midbar. It's a pellet. The Zohar says, can we do chesed for HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How can we do a chesed for the Borei Olam? Zacharti lo chesed norayich. Lechtech achvai b'midbar. And the Zohar says, why is a pious person called Chosid? Shemischased im kono. Rabbi Yosef, what does that mean? Shemischased im kono. How do we do chesed for the Borei Olam? How can we do that? The Zohar says that's what the pasuk means. The answer is found in Shemois Dalet. Therefore, the Haftorah for Parshas Shemot, which is Zacharti lo chesed norayich, is the Haftorah of Shemot Dalet. What's the kesher? In Shemot Dalet, God says, B'ni b'chorvi Yisrael. My son, my firstborn is Israel. So the Zohar says, what Zacharti lo chesed norayich, that's why it's the Haftorah for that parsha. What chesed did we do for God? B'ni b'chorvi Yisrael. It's mind-boggling. The Zohar says, until Nisan of the Exodus, God was Boreh. When did God become Abba? When? Exodus. That's the Chesed Norayich. We, Kavayochel, made God into an Abba. When he says, B'ni b'chorvi Yisrael. That's why it's the Haftorah, Chesed Norayich. Until then, God was Boreh. On Pesach, when he said, B'ni b'chorvi Yisrael, he became what? Abba. And therefore, the Zohar says, Nisan is called Aviv, Chodesh Aviv. The month when we made God an Av. Isn't that incredible? Chodesh Aviv, the month of Tata, the Tata month. Yiddish. Isn't that incredible? Why is the Bechor special? Why does the Bechor get a double portion? Because before he was born, husband and wife were just a couple. Who made the couple into parents? The Bechor. The Bechor. So what? Same thing. That's the same idea. Okay. I'm going to get technical here. But the Bechor makes the parents from a couple into parents. They bestow that status. Before they were just a couple, and now they're what? Parents. So the Zohar says the month is called Chodesh Aviv, the month when we made God Av. when he said, B'ni B'chor Yisrael. That's the chesed, kaviyachol, that we do for God. And that's the kesher of the Haftorah Yirmiyahu, the Parsha Shmot, where Parsha Shmot, God says, B'ni B'chor Yisrael. The B'chor does chesed for the couple by making them into what? Parents. A family can have 19 children, but the firstborn is special because without him, they're not parents. So Kaviyachol, God says about himself, I was the Boreh. Chodesh Nisan, B'ni B'chor Yisrael, you made me into Av. Chodesh Shel Av. Chodesh Aviv. And therefore God says, I remember Chesed Norayich. Now, why did God put us in Golus? Now, we thank God for taking us out of Egypt. But Valerie, who put us there? Huh? I mean, he put us there in the first place. It's like a doctor breaks your legs and then he sets the leg again. Thank you, doctor. Well, you're the one that broke the leg. Now you set me the leg, right? So why do we thank God for taking us out of Egypt when he put us there in the first place? I think that's a Manishtana question. You can't ask the same 4 kashas every year. People get bored. So, the Ramchal says as follows. Wasn't a punishment. How do I know it wasn't a punishment? When God told Abraham, I'm going to destroy Sodom, he pleaded. When God told Abraham, I'm going to enslave your kids 400 years, he didn't say boo, Reb David. For the low-life Sodomites, he said, Cholilalach, HaShoifet Koloros HaYaseh Mishpat. How dare you want to nuke those innocent Sodomites, God? And when God said, I'll enslave your kids, he didn't say boo. But do I, Reb Yosef? Because Ramchal says, he knew it's not a punishment. Says the Ramchal, why did God tell Moses do the Nachash trick 3 times? The Nachash trick. Remember the movie? He did it 3 times. First, threw down the stick by the burning bush, it became a Nachash. Then he did it in front of the Yidden, and then he did it. Why did he do the Nachash trick 3 times? Says the Ramchal, that our going down to Egypt was no punishment. It was the tikkun for the sin of the Nachash. The Nachash HaKadmoini that seduced Adam and Chava. The sin of Lashon Hara. The Nachash slandered God. Remember? You think God means your best interest? The Nachash said, no, don't eat that tree. God said that. He doesn't want no competition. So the Nachash was Lashon Hara. Said Ramchal, we went down to Golus Mitzrayim to be metakein the sin of the Nachash of Adam and Chava. And therefore Yecheskel 28 calls Paroi Hatanim Hagodol. Hatanim Hagodol. Paroi is the Tanin Hagodol. Says the Ramchal, the word Paro, rearrange the letters, what do you get? Pera. What does Pera mean? That's Lashon Hara. Paroi personifies the Nachash HaKadmoni, the Pera. And Yirmiyahu 41 calls Paroi Koiloi Kanachash. You ever heard a Nachash have a voice? Yecheskel calls Paroi a Tanin. What's a Tanin? A serpent. And Yirmiyahu calls Paroi Koiloi Kanachash. What is it called? Yes, you ever heard a Nachash have a call? That's the Nachash HaKadmoini, says the Ramchal. We went down to Mitzrayim to be mitakein the sin of the Nachash, the Pera. Egypt worshipped the Nile River. Rabbi Yosef, you take a look at a map. The Nile River looks like what? A Nachash. Is that a coinky dinky? That the Nile River, the god of Mitzrayim, looks like a Nachash. That's pretty nice. So Abraham could not complain. Not a sin. We had to be metakein the sin of Adam and Chava. We all have their DNA. We all have a piece of the soul of Adam and Chava.
Pharaoh's hat has this Nachash.
Nachash. Remember the movie? They got that right. On Pharaoh's crown, there's the Nachash. That's the Paroi, Pera. Pesach, Freedom to be slaves, Ephraim. Hear what I said? Freedom to be slaves. The Sof Pashas Bahar, God says, Kili b'nei Yisrael avodim, avodai heim, asher etzesi oisam eretz Mitzrayim v'ni Hashem. So why did God free us from Egyptian slavery? To become His slaves. And the Mishnah says in Avod, Ein ben choyren v'shoisik v'torah. Because believe Torah, you're a slave to the what? The internet. You're a slave to fashion, to isms. Ein ben choyren v'shoisik v'torah. Otherwise, you're enslaved to whatever ism or fix that you are fixated on. Now, Pesach night is the ultimate you are there experience. Pesach night, Avi, is a spiritual time machine. We go back in time. We cycle through time. The round matzah. And therefore, the Mishnah says, B'chol dor, v'dor chayav adam, lirot et atzmo. The Rambam says, laharot et atzmo. The Mishnah says, lirot et atzmo. And the Rambam says, laharot et atzmo. As if he left Egypt. What does that mean, laharot et atzmo? To act as if he left Egypt. We're play acting. How do you do that, Charlie? By eating the same foods they ate, by tasting the same foods they tasted, you are what you eat. We're reliving the Exodus. Oh, that should get around matzah. No,
cut off the corners.
Matzah, matzah man, I want to be a matzah man. Morer, to feel the bitterness of slavery. Now matzah says the Abarbanel was the staple of slaves. For 210 years, what did we eat in Mitzrayim? Not Wonder Bread, says the Abarbanel. We ate matzah. Because matzah is filling, it constipates you. You don't have to take so many toilet breaks. You can stay in the slime pits longer. You get it, Charlie? So for 210 years, we ate matzah. The staple of slaves. It filled you up. It constipated you. I'm mixed up. Matzah is the food of slaves. On Pesach night, it's the food of what?
Free men.
Of free men. Are you mixing me up? Alright? That's the way God works. The symbol of your degradation becomes a symbol of what? Your salvation. Matzah was the food of slaves and degradation. On Pesach night, it became the food of free men and the fruit of salvation. That's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu operates. Pretty interesting. So we taste the freedom. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Yitzisichom Eretz Mitzrayim. Not Boda Olam. I am Hashem your God that freed you from the land of Egypt. I freed you from being Pharaoh's slaves in order to become what? Hashem's slaves. But how do you become a slave to God, Avi? You got to go to slave school. What was the Harvard University of slave school? What?
Mitzrayim.
Mitzrayim. So it was no punishment. It was what? Basic training. How do you say that in Hebrew? Basic training to learn to be an Eved Hashem Ephraim. You got to go to Eved school. And the Yale University of Eved school was Mitzrayim. Now, to be an Eved Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu's eulogy was very quick, Reb David. How do you say eulogy? Hesped. Vayonos shal Moshe Eved Hashem. God made his eulogy short and sweet. Of all the titles that you can give Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest Lamdan, the greatest Anav, what does God call him? Eved Hashem. That's the zenith that a human being can attain. Vayonos shal Moshe. Imagine, Moshe Rabbeinu's Hesped. God made a short Hesped. Eved Hashem. That's it. You can't get any higher than that. So that's the goal of Pesach. Feel the freedom. to become God's slaves. Now the Mishnah says, Asara Mamarot Nivra Olam, and my Elta Zayd Ibn Yisrael says, the Esem Makot Nivra Am Yisrael, which is greater. The Mishnah says God created the universe in 10 sayings. But the Ibn Yisrael says, Api Kabbalah, that God created the Jewish people through the 10 plagues. Because it was just a punishment, he could have just tsunamied the Mitzrayim. But each plague was a building block to create Am Yisrael. Asar Mod Nivra Olam, the Esem Makot Nivra Am Yisrael. Pesach, God created the Jewish people. God says, Ki ani Hashem b'kerev ha'oretz. The purpose of the Makkos is to prove, Ki ani Hashem b'kerev ha'oretz, to prove to whom? The Mitzrayim are just the patsy. How do you say patsy in Hebrew? They were the patsies. Ki ani Hashem b'kerev ha'oretz. Who was God talking to? Who was God impressing? B'nai B'chari Yisrael. If we would not have witnessed the 10 Makkos, Charlie, we would not be able to receive the 10 Commandments. Each Makkah raised our God consciousness another level to prepare us to accept the what? 7 weeks later, the 10 Commandments. Just a punishment, God could have nuked them.
Rabbi?
Yes.
You said we were 47 levels down.
40, and Memtesh Shali Tuma, 49. 49, right. 49, right?
So how do we get up with 10 plagues? How do we
No, 10 plagues prepared us to accept the 10 Commandments. We needed the 49 days to rise out of each level of Tumah. But if we would not have witnessed the 10 plagues, we would not have been capable of receiving the 10 Commandments. Stay. Now, Paroi is one of the stars in the Torah, Valerie. You ask me, who's a star in the Torah? It's Paroi. Think of it. There's a Paroi by Yosef. There's a Paroi by Abraham. There's a Paroi by Moshe. Paroi is the star of the Torah. Hello? Why? Paroi here, Paroi there, Paroi here. Every Paroi. Yosef's Paroi, Abraham's Paroi, Yaakov's Paroi, Moshe's Paroi. What is so much with Paroi? Says the Ramchal, Paroi is the classic villain. Paroi is the classic Yetzer Hara. The word Paroi, besides being Perah, there's a pasuk in Parshas Nosai. V'hevet hakohen et isha lifnei Hashem u'para rosh isha. What does para mean? Let it all hang out. U'para rosh isha. So Ramchal says Paroi from the word para. Paroi is the classic Yetzer Hara. He says let it all hang out. If it feels good, do it. Huh? Right? And Ramchal is amazing. If you study Paroi, you'll see exactly how the Yetzer Hara works. Paroi says, keep them busy. Right? Nirpim atem, nirpim. You have too much free time. Busy. More high-tech gadgets. Another dumb phone, smartphone. Yeah. The techniques of the Yetzer Hara. You want to stop and think, who am I? Why am I here? The Yetzer Hara says, get busy. Another Facebook, dumb phone, smartphone. Why am I here? What am I doing? Where am I going? Paroi says, keep them busy. Nirpim atem. No time to think. That's the classic Yetzer Hara. Paroi had a dream. Remember by Yosef, the 7 cows? It says, V'hinei omed al hayor. Reb David, you remember? Paroi was standing al hayor. English translates al yad hayor, but that's not true. Anyone who takes Upan 103, V'hinei omed al hayor, says the Medrash Paroi was standing on the river. Walking on the water.
JCPenney strikes again.
You hear this? It says Omed al hayor. Why does the English translate wrong? The river The Nile River was the Avodah Zarah of Mitzrayim. Paroi saw himself standing on the river. Says the Medrash, the wicked stand over their gods. Their gods are to serve them. Pharaoh worshipped the Nile. He was standing on his Getchka. The Rishoyim stand on their Avodah Zarah. The Tzadikim have God over them. What does Yaakov say? Hashem nitzav alav. The Rishoyim, they stand on their Avodah Zarah. Their Getchka is out to serve them. But by Yaakov Avinu it says Hashem nitzav alav. Tzadikim have God over themselves. When I was living in America, Rabbi, they used to have a commercial on TV. They used to say the Christian, they said, the religion, they said like this, the family that prays together stays together. In other words, you got a headache, take an aspirin. You got a problem, take religion. They said God is a smile producer. What's wrong with that idea? What's wrong with that idea? It means God is here to make me happy. I'm not here to make him happy. That's not so. The Rishoyim stand upon their God. Their God serves them. But by Tzadikim, Hashem nitzav alav. We're here to make him happy. I'm here to serve God. He's not here to serve me. Pharaoh placed himself above his God. That's the Nile River, to serve him. Hashem alone is in charge. Paroi was the ultimate control freak. Do you know that? His land was being destroyed. And he still kept negotiating with Moshe Rabbeinu. The man's out of his mind. I'm still in charge. That's the Paroi inside every one of us. Every one of us. Speaking about myself. And sometimes in our lives, we refuse to acknowledge that God is a total master who controls our personal lives. That God is the only reality. Ein od milvado. What does ein od milvado mean?
All the cars.
He is the only reality. The only way to achieve happiness is to be Kabbalah's Omal Hashemayim. Because the alternative is an illusion. To think that we can be independent of God, it's a fantasy, a lie. When Paroi said, who's Hashem that I should listen to him? He's saying, I don't need God in my life. The dialogue between Moshe and Paroi, that Mitzrayim should know, Ani Hashem, the care of Oretz. So Pharaoh is the classic Yetzer Hara, the illusion, the lies, the deception. Be busy with nonsense, just you shouldn't have time to think why I'm here. The lesson is to accept God as above me, over me. I work for him. He does not work for me. Ever say to yourself, why does it always rain on my day off? Why does this always happen to me? Anger, outburst against, who are we angry at? Who are we angry at? God is in control. When I say, how come it always rains on my day off, what am I saying? It's Paroi all over again. God is not satisfying me. He's not making me happy. The Pharaoh inside of us yells, Mi Hashem, Asher Eshma Bekolo. Once it's all about me, egocentric. Therefore the Talmud says, Kol HaKohes Ki Ilu. Why? God is not making me happy. I'm not satisfied the way he runs the world. That's what we're implying subconsciously. The world has to make me happy. And if I'm having a bad hair day, Vayokom melech chadash asher lo yodat Yosef. And it says in Pashas Boy, Vayokom paroi laila. Says Rashi, mimitosoi. Pharaoh got up at night, at the middle of the night. Rashi says mimitosoi, mimitoto. Mimitosoi, Yiddish. What's Rashi tell me? He got up from his waterbed. What's bothering Rashi? Rashi never comments unless something is bothering him. What does Rashi have to say? Pharaoh got up from his bed. Where's he sleeping? In the barn. Moshe Rabbeinu was right 9 out of 9. 9 times out of 9, Moshe called it exactly. Now, number 10, all firstborn are going to drop dead at midnight. Pharaoh himself was a firstborn. So you might think that night he'd have, sleeping in a bunker somewhere, calling in the cabinet. Moshe's right 9 out of 9. He predicted tonight, and I'm a chor. Pharaoh goes to sleep like an ordinary night in the same waterbed. Says the Ramchal, that's the 11th makkah, amnesia. The Yetzer Hara strikes a person with amnesia. 9 out of 9, Moshe called it exactly right. What are you going to sleep for? You're a chor. Go into a bunker, the Hitler bunker, do something. Call out the National Guard. No. Said the Ramchal, that's the Yetzer Hara classic amnesia. Right? His country's destroyed. The Bechorim are engaged in a civil war. What does Paro do? A guy tzlufim. How do you say that? That's the classic Yetzer Hara. Shoot the messenger. Drown out the voice of Hashem. I'm still in charge. That's the Paro. Pretty interesting, right? Now, there's a simple test to see if we can shed the Paro syndrome. Avi, you want to take the test? We can decide if Hashem is above us, or chas v'shalom, we think what? We're above him. The test is, want to know? How do we view the halachos that we don't do? We don't do certain halachos because I'm not yet at that level. Perhaps someday I'll get there. I'm lazy. I don't do Shema on time. I feel bad about it. I try. So you pass the test because at least you place God above you. Not at that level yet. I tried. But if one says that halacha is old-fashioned, it doesn't apply today, it's not relevant today, it doesn't fit my lifestyle, now you're walking on the Nile. If that's your attitude, you're walking on the Nile. That's the Pharaoh syndrome. The Yetzer Hara is taking over. Refuse to admit that God is in total control. That's paroi. That's paroi. Now, the Mishnah says, whoever doesn't eat Pesach matzah moro, speak about it, yotzei chavaso. Why dafka Pesach has to be a lamb? Turkey has less cholesterol, Ephraim. What? Today they have shawarma, it tastes like turkey. Turkey shawarma. Why did God command dafka aseh and not a turkey? Who's the God of Israel? Look in Yecheskel. We worship the Lamb. We worship the Lamb. The zodiac of the Lamb. Yecheskel says was also us, Charlie. We place the Lamb above us. So now you take the Lamb and do it my way. Da 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 da. The Jews worship the Lamb. Look at Ezekiel. The zodiac Lamb. The Jews worship. We put the Lamb above us. Now we're going to submit ourselves to God. Take the object of your Avodah Zarah. The tikkun and Yahadus come from the chet. The tikkun comes from the chet. We build an Egel Azahav. Now God says, take gold, Charlie, and do it my way. Yom Azov shebemishkan v'yechaper Azov shenasa bo'egel. The slave bread, the bitter herbs. So even if we were enslaved in Egypt, Charlie, but if we kept God above us, we were somehow free. You read the book by Sharansky, that Tzaddik Natan Sharansky? He said, Sam, I was a free man even in the Russian prison. That's what he said. I was a free man even in the Russian prison because you could not enslave my mind. Sharansky said. True freedom is to be free from delusion. To know you're an Eved Hashem, not an Eved to the Yetzer Hara. I'm alive only to satisfy and serve God. God is not here to satisfy and serve me. 7 days of the year, Charlie, we attend Pesach University. Zeman Chevitenu. Freedom from what? From the Paroi syndrome. By acknowledging Ani Hashem B'Kerev Ha'aretz. What does B'Kerev mean? In the Kishkis. God is intimately involved in our personal lives. You go on Chulin, page 7. Ein noket etzboy momato ela in Cain. Machrizn olav l'mal. A person doesn't have a bad hair day, Charlie. Or a person doesn't stub his toe unless what? God's in total charge. The purpose of the plagues, God says in Parshas Bo, Ani Hashem b'kerev ha'oretz. Yolamaza b'kerev. How do you say in the Hebrew, the kishkis? Whether you stub your toe or not is no coinky dinky. People loyalenu can die through an accident, but never by accident. David, is that true? People loyalenu die through an accident, but never by accident. That's Ani Hashem B'Kerev Ha'aretz. That's the total opposite of the Paroi syndrome. I'm in charge. Me Hashem. Why should I listen to him? I'm standing on the Nile. I'm above my Avodah Zarah. God is there to serve me. Pretty interesting, right, Sam? Now, if you think about it, of all the Yom Tovim, Pesach is the most governed by time. Erev Pesach is the time you must get rid of the chametz, stop eating chametz, when chametz must be burned, the time we must eat the afikomen. Everything, Pesach is all about time. Baking the matzah 18 minutes. These times are precise. Why are we so obsessed with time on Pesach? When you have to eat the chametz, when you have to eat the matzah, and how long the time the matzah, and you eat the afikomen. Why are we so obsessed with time on Pesach, Avi? Why? You hear my question, Avi? Because Pesach is our spiritual time machine, as we explained. Through Seder night, we transport ourselves back 3,328, 29, 33, 29. We're now in, who's good math, Valley? We're now in 5775. Exodus took place in 2448. 29 years ago. So therefore, Pesach was so obsessed with time, Sam, because Pesach is our spiritual time machine. We transport ourselves back to ancient Egypt. Pesach is the first Yom Tov on the Jewish calendar. It teaches us to appreciate time, not to kill time or waste time, but to know how to utilize the time God gave us on earth wisely. Therefore, the first mitzvah given to the Jewish people was what? This Shabbos. Achodesh hazeh lochem. I'm giving you the gift of time. Lochem. A slave has no time. A slave, his time belongs to Tutankhamen. Now you're not a slave anymore. I'm giving you the gift to rejuvenate your chidush, rejuvenate, rejuvenate. I'm giving you the gift of time. Don't kill time. Make time count. You couldn't do that when you were a slave. Time didn't belong to you. It belonged to whom? Ramesses or Tutankhamun. The gift of time. The time God gave us, use it wisely. Accomplish. Don't kill time. Don't waste time. Pesach bides us to spend our time and years in a life filled with Torah values. And to make time count. Sfirat Omer. We count every day, Reb David, to make every day count. Can I phrase that? Copyright. We count every day in order to make every day count. So therefore you begin counting when? Second day of Pesach. Why not the first day? The Chinuch asked, but why not the first day? Because Ein Marvin Simcha B'Simcha, he says, right? Not to get mixed up. We don't pile on mitzvah. You know. We start counting for the first day. The first day we became free. I gotta be free. So why don't we start counting on the first day? Says the Chinuch, Rabbi Yosef, Tzorech Iyun. Says Ein Marvin Simcha B'Simcha. But technically we should begin counting. Go ahead. The first day. Why? What, the first day of Pesach we became free. So celebrate that. Chinuch says no. Ein Marvin Simcha B'Simcha. Okay. Pretty interesting, right? Now, you can't ask the same 4 kashas every year. People get, how do you say bored, B'Yivrit? You agree with me? This year, Debbie, I want you to ask us now, Ma nishtana Pesach, Ma nishtana Korban Pesach, Mishar Karbonot. We discussed this earlier. I'm not joking. You have to. Ma nishtana Korban Pesach, Mishara Karbonot. Shara Karbonot. Rak liyochid. Ein chabura. You bring any other carbon. There's no chabura. You bring a chatas, osham, todah. You have to bring a chabura? No. Person has a sin offering, a guilt offering. Let's make a chabura of a korban chatas. You hear that? Let's make a chabura of a korban osham. Get out of here. Ma nishtana korban pesach mishar kabonot. Shar kabonot rak liyochid. Ein chabura. Avul korban pesach ach barak lechabura. The Talmud Paskins and the Rambam Yochid Levad, ein maybe Korban Pesach, Jonah. A Yochid alone doesn't bring a Shwarma. I mean a Korban Pesach. Rabbi Yosef, why? That's a Manishtana. You can't ask the same Kasha of Shimon every year. Manishtana Korban Pesach, all the other Karbonos is Rakli Yochid, and Korban Pesach, the opposite. Olam Afuch. A Yochid Levad, ain't maybe Korban Pesach, it's only what? Chabura. You don't think that's a good Manishtana question, Charlie? I think it is. What's the answer? Because Korban Pesach is a symbol of Cherut. An Eved has no family life. Remember roots? Kinte kinte. I'm dating myself. Right? Alex Haley. Can Eveds get together with a Chabura? No. Eved can't congregate. On Eved, there's no parent-child relationship. No Chabura. Remember what they did to Uncle Tom. There's no family relationship by Avodim. There's no parent and child relationship. And Eved only cares about himself. The Korban Pesach, it says, Seh lebet avot, seh labayit. Each family brought a seh. Because as an Eved, you had no family life. You remember roots, don't you? Alex Haley? No family life. Evet can't congregate. How do you say congregate? Chabura? The master wouldn't allow that. So it's dafke the korban pesach to symbolize that we're free. Celibate avot chabura. The korban pesach, the sign lo kachu ishcheno. Evet has shchenim. And Evet only cares about what? The guy in the mirror. The korban pesach is a symbol. We're no longer slaves. We can engage in family gatherings together with our shchenim, which is not possible when you are what? Alex Haley. The korban pesach expresses our hakarat hatov HaKadosh Baruch Hu for what? For acherut. So Pesach night, we're going to have the ultimate show and tell experience, Charlie. We're going to travel back through time. By eating the foods that they ate, we actually cycle through time. Therefore, the matzah, Valerie, is what? Because time is, what's the word in English?
Cyclical.
Cyclical, thank you. Cyclical. Huh? One second. And therefore, Koheles says in chapter 3, Koheles says, Ma shehaya kvarhu. What is happening now happened a long, long time ago. Time is cyclical. Yes, Val, what's your question? Why don't we eat lamb? Well, certain Sephardic communities do. Ashkenazim don't because people will think maybe we're Karaites. Because people will say, hey, you're offering a korban to Hashem, there's no Beis HaMikdash. Shchutei chutz chayev karet. So Ashkenazim don't eat lamb because people shouldn't think we're Karaites. As certain Sephardic communities, dafke do eat lamb. I'm not a Karaite. Don't judge me negatively. Don't look at chutz, Valerie. So each one according to his own minhag. Okay? I think it's called different strokes for different folks. Okay? So, Pesach night, we have to appreciate who we are. Zacharti lo chesed norayich. We, little old me, can do a chesed for the Barga Shalom? Yes. Look how important you are. Because Chodesh Aviv, the month when we made God into the Papa, and the Mama. The Shekhinah is feminine. The Shekhinah is feminine. The word Neshama, the word Shekhinah, the word Torah, the word Mitzvah, all what? Feminine. That's why women have a Bina Yetera. Shekhinah, Shama. Women have a Bina Yetera. Women are more godlike. Women make a bracha. We say, Shalom Sani Isha. You know why? Because the Talmud in the Bracha says the worst pain in the world is the pain of childbirth. And we won't be able to tolerate the pain. So thank God you didn't make me a woman. I don't have to go through the pain of childbirth. How do women make a bracha, Rav David? Shasani Kirtzono. You made me exactly the way you are. Shasani Kirtzono. Just like God. Women are more godlike. And there, Rabbeinu Bachai says, therefore, women are patur for mitzvah sheshes man garama. Why? He said, Rabbeinu Bachai, before women's lived. He lived in the 1000s. The word mitzvah, he said, the root is tzav. You know Hebrew better than me. Tzav means to bond. B-O-N-D. Bond. Says Rabbeinu Bachai. We need all those mitzvot to bond with God. Says Rabbeinu Bachai, women are naturally bonded. They don't need all of those mitzvot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, not, how do you say in French? But in Ivrit, how do you say in Ivrit? Rabbeinu Bachai, before women's live. Women are naturally bonded. They don't need all those extra mitzvot. We need the talis, the tefillin, tangible symbols to bond with him. Ladies don't need that.
So why did the Rambam?
They're naturally bonded. What did Rabbeinu Bachai say? His wife must have loved him. Rabbeinu Bachai. I want to thank you very much for coming here this evening and elevating the neshama of our dear son, Rosh Hashanah and Shono Yefraim, and giving him this pleasure. Because the family bond is not broken with death. He's still our beloved son. And Olam Haba, after we leave this earthly world, will be reconnected, and this time he'll be 100% healthy now. He's not trapped in his sick body anymore. He's free. And I want to thank Hashem that He allowed Shiur and I to host this precious neshama for 10 years and 8 months. And he helped us do our tikkun, and we helped him do his tikkun. The Ariya Kodesh says, Chaim Vital, that when a child is born ill and he dies, it's not a punishment. It's God said. It's amazing. The Ariya Kodesh says that before a person is born, the neshama gets to choose its parents. Ariya Kodesh. We actually choose our parents. Whom the neshama thinks will be able to help it accomplish her. So our dear Osher chose us to help him do his tikkun, and he helped us do our tikkun. So the Holy Ari said, God is the shidduchim, neshamas. God is a matchmaker, but the neshama gets to choose who will help it do her tikkun.
For more of Rabbi Sprecher's teachings, visit rabbisprecher.com.